Month, the NBC made payments in Thai baht available to 1.5 million stores by QR code in Cambodia. The bank has plans to introduce QR payment options with Vietnam, Laos as well. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The National Fire Department released a report this week detailing the number of fire incidents in Cambodia in the first 6 months of 2023. The report recorded over 500 different fires and 41 deaths. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Director of National Fire Prevention and Rescue Department, Net Vanta, said that Cambodia has experienced 516 fires so far this year, resulting in 41 deaths and 84 injuries. Of the record fires, 413 happened in residents and 57 in shops. Speaking at a training session on fire control on July 12th, he said that 76 fires were reported in Phnom Penh, 55 in Kandal, 39 in Kampot, 37 in Siem Reap, 35 in Takao, and 1 in Kep. He confirmed that most cases were electrical fires at 40.25%. Net Vanta said that when compared to the same time last year, the country has seen 144 more cases of fire incidents. The first half of 2022 recorded 372 fires. He stressed the need for education on fire management and prevention, especially regarding the training firefighters and how to properly use equipment, provide first aid, and evacuate victims. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Sen ordered the Ministry of Labor and Phnom Penh Capital Administration to provide between 300 and 350 free buses to transport workers to their hometowns to ease the voting process and promote the general election on July 23rd. In an audio message posted to his Telegram yesterday, the Prime Minister said that providing buses for workers is not a bribe or an exchange for votes, but an effort to make voting fair and accessible to reduce traffic around Election Day. He said the number of buses will be proportionate to the number of workers from any given province. He wrote, quote, "I would like to make it clear that this transport is done without discrimination of any political party. It is not a bid for more votes. We will transport people of any political party without discrimination. We do not care who they are voting for," end quote. He added that the buses will depart from the provinces on July 22nd and will return workers on July 24th. The 7th National Assembly election will be held on July 23rd, 2023. To alleviate the stress of making it to the polls, the government has declared a workers' holiday from the day before until the day after the election, from July 22nd through 24th. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Department of Technology Crimes, in cooperation with the Phnom Penh Municipal Police, arrested 3 suspects on July 9th for acting on behalf of illegal online loan companies and for threatening people for repayment. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
After questioning, the 3 suspects confessed that they had worked as agents for an online lending company and that they had acted as lobbyists and borrowers for the lenders, threatening those who did not pay on time. The investigation found that the loan companies were unlicensed and did not seek permission from the National Bank of Cambodia. The department sent the 3 suspects to the Phnom Penh Municipal Court for legal action on the morning of July 11th and continued to search for ringleaders and accomplices in the scam. An agreement between the General Commissioner of the National Police and the National Bank of Cambodia was announced in January, which decided upon strict legal action against purveyors of legal loans and all forms of advertising relative to the provision of unauthorized financial services. The joint statement also advised people to avoid borrowing money from informal financial services providers without the permission of the National Bank and to help the relevant authorities to take legal action in a timely manner. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. A recent report recorded nearly 1,600 traffic accidents in the first 6 months of 2023, resulting in 756 deaths and 2,072 injuries, of which 1,332 were serious injuries. More than half of the accidents occurred at night. According to the report of the Traffic Police and Public Order Department of the National Police, the leading causes of accidents was speeding at 39%, followed by 25% for not respecting others' right-of-way, 4% for drunk driving, 3% for drowsiness, and 1% of accidents being weather-related. Among the fatalities, 81% were motorcyclists, and 73% of those were not wearing helmets. Most of the accidents occurred in Phnom Penh, followed by Sihanoukville and Pursat. When compared to the same time last year, traffic accidents are down 4%, while the number of fatalities is down 20%, and the number of injuries is down 7%. In the first half of 2022, there were 1,609 traffic accidents, resulting in 942 deaths and over 2,000 injuries. According to the report, 143 accidents occurred on the new Phnom Penh-Sihanoukville Expressway in the first half of the year, damaging 148 vehicles, killing 3 people, and injuring 44. Kristen Winters, EAC News. The Ministry of Labor and Vocational Training announced the launch of the third Occupational Safety and Health Master Plan for 2023 to 27 yesterday under the chairmanship of Minister of Labor It Sam-Heng. The plan covers workers who produce textiles, garments, footwear, bags, and travel products, as well as industries such as agriculture and construction. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
President of the Union Federation of Labour Rights, Sam Soon, said that mainstreaming occupation safety and health in general education and vocational training programs can build a safer and healthier future for the next generation of skilled workers. Sam Soon stated that his union is committed to working with the Ministry of Labour and Vocational Training, the International Labour Organisation, and other partners to implement the latest Occupational Safety and Health Minister Plan. Tep Sopon, General Manager of the Cambodian Federation of Employees and Business Associations, stated that the new plan will address policies, priorities, and necessary measurements to continue to ensure occupational safety and health for workers. ILO National Coordinating Officer for Cambodia, Tun Supon, said that the implementation of improved occupational safety and health in the past has reduced work accidents, leading to increased productivity in factories. Minister It Sam-Heng said that the plan involves 6 strategies and detailed action plans with specific, measurable and practical monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to increase cooperation efficiently in occupational safety and health for the benefit of employees and workers in all sectors, regardless of the company's economic value or size. In order for the plan to be successfully implemented, the minister recommended that all stakeholders continue to work together to prevent accidents in the work. He advised businesses owners to strengthen occupational safety and health management systems and to pay close attention to overheating in factories, fire safety, and the use of chemicals and steam systems. He noted it crucial for workers to have access to checkups with occupational therapists in order to see their new plan succeeded. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Council for the Development of Cambodia, or CDC, approved 113 investment projects in the first half of 2023, amounting to $1.1 billion being invested into the Cambodian market, with most of the capital coming from Chinese investors in the industrial sector. A report from the Council stated that the number of investment projects decreased by 15 projects year to year, while the investment capital saw a decline of $800 million, down from $1.9 billion in the same period last year. The approved investment projects created around 122,000 jobs for local people. Most of the investment went to industrial projects, with 102 out of the approved 113 projects in that sector. Additionally, 7 projects pertained to agriculture and agro-industry, 3 were in the tourism sector, and 1 was an infrastructure development project. Investors from China ranked first, accounting for 2/3 of the total investment capital, while domestic investment ranked second at nearly 20%. Vice President of the Cambodian Chamber of Commerce, Lim Heng, credited the nation's new investment laws, free trade agreements, and trade preferences for Cambodia's continued success in attracting investors. Kristen Winters, EAC News. In a show of international cooperation, Cambodia and Japan teamed up to help Ukraine with mine detection during a training session in Poland last week. The training comes at a vital time for Ukraine, who has been inundated with landmines and unexploded ordnance since the armed conflict with Russia began in 2014. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
According to a press release from the Embassy of Japan in Phnom Penh on July 11, the training was held from July 3rd to the 7th in Poland and was constitution of the training program held in Cambodia early this year. The Cambodian Mine Action Centre conducted sessions to provide the State of Emergency Service of Ukraine with training on equipment used to mine detection. The equipment used was developed in Japan and donated as part of Japan's ongoing support for the CMAC. According to Human Rights Watch, Ukraine is severely contaminated with landmines from the armed conflict that began in 2014. Use of landmines and explosive remnants of the war has greatly intensified with Russia's full-scale invasion beginning in February of last year. Landmines have been documented in 11 of Ukraine's 27 regions. Last week, US President Joe Biden confirmed his intent to send cluster bombs as part of the military aid package to Ukraine, furthering the risk of civilian casualties by unexploded weapons for decades to come. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen and Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio made a joint commitment on humanitarian mine action in Ukraine during the 2022 Asian Summits last November. Japan has pledged to continue its support for the CMAC's efforts, especially on the international stage. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Matt Dillon returned to Cambodia this week, 20 years after the release of his directorial debut, City of Ghosts, which was filmed in the Kingdom of Wonder. His diehard fans attended a private screening of the film on Saturday at Olympia's Legend Cinema, followed by a Q&A session. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
During Matt Dillon's return to Cambodia, he held a special meet and greet with his fans after a screening of City of Ghosts. The guests were treated by a Q&A session organised by the Cambodian International Film Festival, or CIF. Matt was this year's patron for the festival and spoke with nostalgia and excitement about the progress of Cambodian's film industry.
Cambodia is such a very special place to me. It's such a fertile ground for creativity. It's great to see that it's really developed into such a thriving film industry. And I really look forward to seeing these young filmmakers come up with in the future.
In an interview with EAC News, Matt Dillon expanded on the reasons for his visit. The main reason was being to recognise the life and talent of Kem Sravut, a first-time Khmer actor who had cast in one of the principal roles of the film.
And in many ways, it's a tribute to a gentleman that I worked with on the film, who was a dear friend, Sravut Kem, who was an actor who had never acted before, who I cast in one of the larger parts of the film, and unfortunately he passed away in November. And I thought it'd be a good time to come back and see some old friends.
Although Kem Sravut passed away late last year, his family attended the screening on his honour. His daughter Mei Lin said that she was very excited to present an event along with her family.
I'm very excited, yes, to be able to present here in this incredible event. And also my family, they are also excited.
She spoke highly of her father, who was proud of the work he had done and grateful for the experience.
Yes, he talked a lot and he liked to tell all the stories and experience to his friends, his fellow friends. And yes, he's quite very proud to be in the movie. I just know that he loved everything he has done.
Mei Lin said that she's very much enjoyed meeting Matt Dillon and reintroducing him to Cambodia. During his stay, Matt Dillon will be leading filmmaking masterclasses, sharing his experiences in the industry and reflecting on making the City of Ghosts. Cambodian International Film Festival was honoured to have Mr. Dillon as their patron and to hear his insights on filmmaking in Cambodia. The full interview with Matt Dillon can be seen on our website and other social media outlets. Anthony Ellis, EAC News. He's also been nominated for numerous of nominations for different awards. He's also known as in Something About Mary and something even closer to Cambodia, City of Ghosts. Our host today is Matt Dillon. Thank you, Matt Dillon. Thank you very much for joining us. For the guest, Matt Dillon, thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back here.
Patron of Cambodian Film Festival. How important is that for you?
Well, I mean, Cambodia is an important place for me. It's the film. I made my first film here, and they asked me to do that because it's been 20 years since the film was released, and so I was happy to do that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come at the time, but I was discussing afterwards with John Perazzi, who was the cameraman on my film, and we talked about maybe coming and doing a screening. And in many ways, it's a tribute to a gentleman that I worked with on the film, who was a dear friend, Sarah Kem, who was an actor who had never acted before, who I cast in one of the larger parts of the film. And unfortunately, he passed away in November. And I thought it would be a good time to come back and see some old friends.
Difference from 20 years ago when you made the movie to now, it's been big, great changes.
Well, I mean, things have changed dramatically here. A lot for the better, I think. I think the opportunities for the Khmer, the society, people have grown, and